Hello everybody, it is Wednesday, the 4th of October. I want to talk about different spiritual paths and the outcomes that they lead to, what I can see at the moment, and the way that these paths always split up into different possibilities. They will lead you to different outcomes. Where at the moment the whole spiritual thing is a complete mishmash of different paths, where people talk about, or the light of the Creator, the love of the Creator, and then they're citing Jesus. Jesus was on a completely different path. Yeah? Now, I want to show you, first of all, the split into two main paths. And that is the first time you have to make a decision where it is you're actually going, what your own intention actually is, or what that future is that you envisage, that you want to go toward. So the first split is mostly the Eastern tradition or the Judeo-Christian tradition, and they're two different paths. And that is the path of not being or the path of being. Yeah? So this idea of dissolving in the light is the path of not being, where you come to a point where you reach a point where there's no observer and there's nothing being observed. Nothing knows and nothing is being known. And that is the end of consciousness, of the individual consciousness. Other ways they describe it is that your light goes out into the all and burns up in the great light of the all, becomes one with it. Or what David Icke nearly said was that the drop becomes the ocean. Now the drop is not the ocean to start with. The drop is a self-contained thing. It has got a tension that creates a form. But once it enters into the ocean, that tension dissolves. And then you enter into the ocean. And then to say, I am all, is a contradiction. It can't. That is the one thing you cannot be. I cannot become all, because once you are in all, I is no longer there. That tension is gone. I mean, the Hermetics did describe the contemplation of all as the way into insanity, that it will lead to insanity. And you could say insanity is a state where you lose grip of yourself and your bubble bursts, so to speak. So, yeah, it is the end of consciousness. It is for you the end of creation. It is not the end of creation universally, but it will be for you. Because the observer will no longer be there. Therefore, there will be nothing to be observed. And it is the intention of that path. And apparently they think that that is the meaning of all of creation. That it should cease to be. I mean, if you think that, go there. Now, the other path, and that was the path of Jesus, and that is very much in being. Yeah? You do not dissolve into everything. He never dissolved. Even at the ascension, yeah, they saw a body. Now, okay, you say that was an energy. It is an energy being that we interpret as a body, okay, but it was still a being. He was still together in one part. He didn't dissolve, but the whole part went somewhere else, and that is staying within being, within creation. So again, the first thing you really have to ask yourself is to be or not to be. That is actually a question. Yeah? And if you want to go the path of being, and then you go the path of, okay, the Judeo-Christian tradition, the Gnostics, they were all in being. Yeah? Right, so if we go down this path now, if we leave the Eastern path and go that one, then a knowledge came into this world, and that is that the Creator gives. The Creator, the Father gives without judgment. It gives to that which is created. Yeah? And that you can receive. Again, how do you receive? And here is, you need to have an intended outcome. You're going from one point to another within creation. You see, that's why the other path does not actually create matter, so to speak. It doesn't create outcomes. It creates nothing. Because you have no intended outcome. If you say, I am all and everything there ever was, and I'm going into all, there is no defined point toward which you're going. That is why you dissolve. Anyway, so we're going the path of outcomes. And that is staying within being. And then we're receiving. Now, I don't want to go too much into how we are receiving at the moment, because that's something we really need. If we are choosing a path, we need to stay on that path, and we need to gather knowledge according to that path. So, okay, so we're receiving, we're staying within being, we're going toward an outcome, and that outcome will be given. So now, within this teaching, again, there was a fork, two different things you can do with that knowledge that will again lead to different outcomes. One is, you have that knowledge work in this world. And that was then the giving to one another. And that will lead then to the healings, to the, manifestation of food, whatever he did with the fishes and the loaves, creating realities that serve humanity. And that is the way of the Son of Man, the way of humanity, which means you stay in this world, you affect what is happening in this world by giving to one another, and you create or you change this world in that way. We're talking about energy, healing, and really manifestations in this world. So that is one path where you stay in this reality and you work it on a higher level, knowing that matter is not solid, but that it can be influenced and changed by spiritual forces. Right, that is, again, one distinct way, but then there was another way that this knowledge would lead you on. And that is where you do not give to everybody else around you, but you use that knowledge to change yourself. Again, on the path of giving to each other, I think you do change, but it is temporarily, I say, until something is achieved. But again, I need to think more, because that is actually the path I want to go on. I have no intention of going anywhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm fine here. I would just like to sort out this mess, Housewife, I really want to clean up. Anyway, so you fork into really changing yourself, and again, with an intention. There is somewhere you're going. Again, Jesus did not go out of being. He went into another world. That means he went into another created part, which is not all. No created part is all. Every created part is a bubble in which that part exists. So he went into another bubble. So changing yourself to make yourself compatible, energetically compatible with another reality. with another world. And that is actually, to my mind, that is shape-shifting. That's what he did. He was shifting his shape. Actually, if you read in the Bible, after the resurrection, that his appearance had changed. Yeah, for those that are fully in the material world, that want to debunk the whole thing, they say, well, there was a completely different person and it was a deception. It was just a very cleverly laid out plan in this material world. It was a completely different person, and it was a deception to make them think that he had been resurrected. Fine, you can think that. But if you go and you believe on the spirit, on the energy part of all of this, then it would make perfect sense that if he had changed, if his energy had changed, then they would read a different person, because that's what we do. We read energy when we say it's matter. So then his appearance would have changed if he had changed. So he had changed, and then he was in this world for another, I don't know how many days at the moment exactly, just over 40 days, I think, to teach his disciples from his new perspective of his new being what he now knew. But then he was, spewed out by this reality or sucked into another, whichever way you want to look at that. But that was the ascension, because he was energetically no longer compatible with this world. He was not according to this world anymore. And he was his energy was sucked into a place where he now belonged. You could say that. So, and this is then the way of shape-shifting and entering into other worlds, by completely changing your own energy. And now, if you go down that path, it again splits into many different parts. And I think that is what the different teachings, or the occult teachings, like alchemy, like the others are. They will lead you to different outcomes. That is to say, they will lead you into different realities. Because every bubble is energetically slightly different from the next. And you need to become compatible with one or the other. And it was in one of the Great Vedic books that there's a schematic to say that they have found, or that they know something over 100 gateways. So that is over 100 ways of changing yourself to enter into another reality. But that is, to me, that is shape-shifting. That is the way of the shapeshifter. And if you want to be in this world and have this knowledge serve in this world, by continuously giving to one another, you need to remain the energy of this world. To be anchored in this. And work it here. Now, first of all, we need to become conscious of those different pathways. We need to be conscious that we are the ones that are doing it. You're looking for stargates somewhere. Somebody's building a big stargate, like the Hadron Collider. Let's all stare at that. No, you are the stargate. You are the gate. And then understand what it is you're doing and what the outcome, that you consciously choose an outcome. You can choose to go into another reality. That is a choice. If you consciously do it and you know what it is you're doing. You understand what it will do to you if you go on that path. See, I don't think Jesus understood. To be quite honest, I don't think he did. Because if he is on the cross saying, my Father, why hast thou deserted me? And there's another there saying, this is my son, and he is the best thing since sliced bread. That means there were two different intentions, two different outcomes. And Jesus obviously did not understand that somewhere there he had left a path. His intention may well have been to be in this world and to heal and to save. But that is not the path he ended on in the end. He changed himself to enter into another kingdom. And if he asked that question at the cross, then I say he did not understand what had just happened. So, for myself, I've made several decisions, and really more on the intuitive level. I've made the decisions long ago. Now more understanding what it is actually, which path I'm actually on, what the intended outcome is for me. And this is where this channel will go. Because where I go, with this channel will go. My channel. And my intended path is the path of being in this world, definitely being. I have no intention to dissolve into anything. Being in this world, and that the knowledge should serve in this world. And I think that of all the pathways that I've just described, this is the one, I think, at the moment, I think there's the least knowledge on that. How do you do that? Yeah, how do you continuously give to one another? That's something I want to think about. And really, once you've chosen a path, ask, I guess that's the way, ask and you shall be given. Ask for knowledge of that path. Ask for knowledge that will get you to that outcome. And really forget about the rest. And tunnel vision on that outcome. Again, that's where I want to go. But for humanity as a whole, at the moment, as I said, it is such a mishmash of teachings, of, honestly, if people say, I'm going to dissolve, I'm going to know the love of the Creator, and then cite Jesus. Jesus knew a love. It was the love of this world, which is a contained bubble, first of all, and then he was blinded by the promise of a love that came from another bubble, and he went on that path to that other bubble, actually not quite knowing where he was going to. I think he was very vague about describing where he was even going. But again, first of all, do you want to be or not to be? Yeah, Eastern traditions not being, Western traditions, you stay within creation. The possibilities contained within being in creation, within being. Give to one another in this world, stay in this reality, stay according to this reality, stay according to the laws of this reality, or shift yourself and enter into another reality, which is most of the occult path, I think, will take you there. And they split into many. There are many pathways that will lead you to different states of your own consciousness that will then give you knowledge, that where you enter into another reality. Choose your path. What is it you actually want? And know what it is you're doing. Again, at the moment, I'm wondering, there seem to be so many different things happening again in this world as well. There seems to be a suppression of this knowledge to, I don't know why, prevent us from flying off, maybe. anchor us, in not knowing. Anchor us in the material world. We would be anchored in this place. We would not fly off, but we're not going to do anything with this either. And there are others that are showing you pathways, teachings that are showing you pathways into other realms of creation, of being. Again, do people understand it when they go on that path? Are there others that are trying, to create? We say we are on a path of evolution, that you are being evolved. That is to say, they are working your energies to have you on a pathway to an outcome, to another reality. They're taking you there by indoctrinating you, and that is affecting your energies. So you are the man of clay. You are that which is being shaped, that will go to. You're not doing it yourself. You're not doing it consciously. It's being done to you. And you're being taken. Do you know that that's happening to you? Or do you even know where you're going? Do you have any say in that matter? Do you have self-determination? In order to have self-determinations, we need to know what it is we are doing, and we need to do it consciously. So again, I leave it at this. I think I will leave it at this now. For me, where I want to go is the path of staying in this reality, working this reality on a higher level. We're already been told, ask, give to one another, and really try to gain knowledge of what it is we are actually expected to do, to work this. What are we supposed to think and feel? What energy are we supposed to be? Compassion obviously is one of them. To work it in this world without being shifted onto another path. That we can stay on this path, because that is obviously what happened to Jesus. He was shifted onto another path. And I don't think he was aware of that had actually happened. So again, we need to know exactly what that path is and not go outside of it, because then it will lead us to a different outcome. If you veer from the path, you're going somewhere completely different. Okay, I will leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon, if anything comes to me. What is actually required of us to stay on that one particular path, which is in being and in this world. Talk to you again soon. Bye.